For my activity, I had John Sutter and the California Gold Rush. I did an activity based off of a fifth grade standard, investigate the causes and consequences of westward expansion between 1800 and 2000. For this activity, I had every student read this book, paying close attention to the details of the novel. And then once the book was read in its entirety, the class would transition into making the project, which was a lap book. So for the lap book, I actually had attached for all of the students a simple rubric as well. Once they have completed their lap book, we would be displaying it and discussing the key points from each individual's lap books, as well as the differences and the other discoveries they've made throughout the process. So to begin the lesson before it hits the classroom and the students, I would go ahead and make sure that I have all the materials necessary, of course, as well as pre-printed any templates that the students will need to complete them, and a list of additional resources that they could use, which is part of the rubric that they will have to abide by. And then I'm going to transition over to a video of the lap book itself and what it actually contains, so that we can see that a little bit closer as well. Going a little bit more in depth with the lap book itself, the front cover, I just have the name of the book and the topic, as well as the student's name. When it's opened up, you'll see that there's a lot of different moving pieces here. The student will be required to put at least 5 of these different pieces in there, some of which could be a timeline showing both the date and what happened on those dates, lasting impacts or the effects the gold rush had. This, of course, will also include multiple facts from the book. Living conditions, these are a little bit more inferred through pictures, but it would show the comprehension of the difference in the time of year. Up at the top here, I have a map of the different routes that were taken and the types of tools that were shown and or explained to be used in the book, types of transportation and how that looked. 5 of these pieces would be required to be put into the lap book. Additionally, on the rubric, it asks for 1 additional fact as well, or 1 additional source as well. So for mine, I went ahead and did facts about gold, since it didn't really go into depth about what the gold was, why it was important, and why everybody was scrambling to go get it. Lastly, on the rubric, we have the letter. Each student will be required to write a letter to a family or someone they know, stating as if they were in California during this time or on their way to go to California to participate in the gold rush. This gives the students the opportunity to look at the event with a different perspective. This activity promotes classroom learning related to the California Gold Rush and the book's content in an engaging way by requiring the students to explore the book further by categorizing the content of the book while engaging in the hands-on activity. It requires students to process the book's information as well as additional information to complete each section of the lap book. For me, it can be easily used in the classroom as a formative or a summative assessment based on the knowledge the students show and exhibit through the activity based on the book's information and the additional resources used. The activity is creative and classroom ready because it doesn't actually require a lot of materials that can't already be found in a classroom. It is also creative in a way that it allows the students to customize and display their information in, although structured, a flexible way as well, because they are able to use any of the templates and any of the information that they find, as long as there's those at least 5 elements. And again, the activity is sturdy, colorful, because it is made out of a file folder and construction paper. And then to make sure that everything is customizable, whenever I print out all the templates ahead of time, I will be using a array of colors for all of the different templates. That way students can pick and choose how they want their Lapbook to be displayed, what colors they would prefer to use. It is appropriate for 5th grade because it not only asks for the students to retrieve information from the novel or the book itself, it also asks them to retrieve information from an additional resource and to put themselves into the shoes of somebody in that time era. And the activity accurately assesses the student's knowledge of the book and the standards by requiring the student to directly recall information from the subject as well.